Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 12th, 2023 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. If you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowman in the comment box. A person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of January. And all the instructions that will be needed will be in that video, so keep your eyes open for that video and do not be scammed by anybody contacting you in the comment box pretending to be me. If you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's listed in the description box below, as are all the cards that I'm using. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Scorpio. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. So we have the Magician reversed. We have the Empress, and we have the Two of Wands. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Eight of Wands. We have here, which one is this? Temperance. So strong Sagittarius energy coming out, which is very interesting because this new moon is in Sagittarius. And then we have the Five of Cups. Change your mind, change your life. All right, Scorpio, you're really taking the power here. What's very interesting is that with the Magician reversed, is there's a sense of feeling powerless, of feeling overwhelmed, of feeling as if I can't because XYZ. We can just feel bogged down, weighed down, and absolutely overwhelmed. So just being aware of this during this time, we can also have a tendency to take other people's counsel over what our heart, our soul, and our being is telling us. Remember, during this time, we have a very close connection with the Archangel Gabriel. So a lot of the knowledge that we're getting, a lot of the information that we're getting is just powerful. It's coming straight from the divine. And so to turn away from that is going to be, in a sense, turning away from ourselves and what we truly want and what's truly important to us. So being mindful here is going to be a very big thing. Now, let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Here we have hope reversed. We can feel hopeless. We can feel as if we're never going to get to the place that we want to be. We're never going to open up the door that needs to be opened in order for us to have the life that we want. So hope reversed is hopelessness. And Spirit is saying here, I just feel very emotional about this because there's a sense here of there's so much hope here. But until we see the magic within ourselves, and until we see the power within ourselves, we will not have everything come forward the way that it's supposed to. So feeling hopeless, disconnected from our hearts and what we truly love is going to be something we need to look at and say, okay, where is this coming from? And why is this here? What is holding me back? So being aware of that and knowing that there's a lot more going for us than we realize. There's a lot more to our world than we can understand. Let's see what our chakra energy is. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Here we have personal power reversed. And just like the Magician, we're having a hard time listening to our gut reactions to things or what our gut is saying, and finding the power within us, finding the purpose within us to open up the door and say, this is me and this is where I need to be. So personal power is reversed, and there's a sense of feeling overwhelmed. There's a sense of feeling as if I don't have power in this situation or the power to be able to move forward. And what Spirit is saying here is, hey, listen, slow it down and connect with your gut response to things. Connect with the healing of you, the connection of you, the empowerment of you to open up the doors and say, this is what I need and this is what I want within my life. So here, there's just a sense of not listening to ourselves. And when we do listen to ourselves, it's feeling very overwhelmed and as if we're not in the direction or heading in the direction that we want to be. Our energy to be mindful of, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the 9 of Swords. A lot of the worry and a lot of the fear that we have, we're releasing. There's a sense here to be mindful because we can be replacing it with worry and fear, which is what we're used to and how we're used to handling things. So here with the 9 of Swords reversed, it's actually a very good thing, even though Spirit is saying, hey, be mindful here, because we are releasing a lot of negative energy that has held us back, kept us small, kept us quiet, made us feel as if we just can't, or as if there's no way forward. And so here with that release, there's an empowerment. There's a sense of seeing ourselves in a new way. And that can be overwhelming during this time, most definitely, but it's also going to be very beautiful because this new moon is at 20 degrees, 40 minutes in Sagittarius. And it is the 4th new moon in a row of 7 new moons that brings new beginnings and new change. It brings it so powerfully, we can feel it. And it lasts well into 2024. So there's a new chapter opening up for us. And this leads us to awakening and truth. That's going to be so important here with temperance, with balance coming forward, with strong Sagittarius energy coming into our lives, Scorpio. And especially if we're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, or we have Sagittarius energy within our charts, this is just amplified. Now, this new moon brings hope, it brings optimism, it brings a sense of adventure, of craving freedom, and also of looking at truth. And we see that here with the Empress and the being pregnant with possibilities, the sitting there, being able to create, being able to open up the door and saying, there is so much more here than I had realized. And there is so much more to me than I've ever known. But losing sight of ourselves is going to be one of the things that we kind of battle during this time. And we need to sit and say, but this is me. This is me. I see my power. I see my truth. I see my connection. I see what I need for myself to be able to move forward. This is a very powerful time for setting our intentions. We have the power of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. We have that power behind us of amplifying, of greatness. This is a time to grow and to gain. And so here, what are we nurturing within ourselves? What is it that we feel most often during this time? Because it's going to be amplified. Okay? We have 5 planets in mutable signs, and that comes through with the 8 of Wands. We see things moving very, very quickly. Mutable signs mean that we are more set up for change, right? We can handle change more readily, okay, than other times. So being aware of this during this time is very important, but we can also feel like there's no sturdy ground, as if everything is changing and everything is overwhelming. So we have Neptune and Saturn in Pisces, and we have the Moon, the Sun, and Mars in Sagittarius. Here, things are moving quickly, and we can feel like we're not quite getting our footing. We're not quite seeing the way that we need to move forward. Now, the Sun and the Moon are also conjunct Mars in Sagittarius. This brings fast-moving energy, but it also brings with it almost like a rebellion against that fast-moving energy. It brings opinionatedness, or over-opinionatedness, and dogmatism. It has to be done just this way. So we're going to see things move and change, and yet we're going to see that we're really digging our heels in one way or another, and others are really digging their heels in and saying, but it has to be like this. It cannot change. It cannot move forward in a different way. So being mindful about this during this time is going to be really good. Saying, okay, I can embrace change energy. I do not need for it to sweep me away. So being mindful here also that we will have a tendency to have this changing energy kind of sweep us up, carry us off, head us in directions that we don't want to go in, because it's the power of change. But also, we are changing the way that we see things, the way that we, react to things with worry and fear and doubt and chaos. With the Magician reversed, we are learning to stand in our own power by seeing that we aren't. The magician says, stand before the altar of your existence and claim your power, claim your greatness, and claim who you are. With the magician reversed, we're having a hard time saying, this is what I deserve. This is what I want in my life. I'm calling forward my prosperity. I'm calling forward my abundance. I'm opening up the door. Now the new moon is squared Neptune. And this brings, spirituality into the day-to-day. So standing before the altar of our existence, claiming our power, claiming ourselves is something that we're called to every single day. And this brings the mystical energy into the day-to-day. It brings it forward very, very strongly. And it makes us much more aware of it. And it can also make us very overwhelmed by it. We as Scorpios naturally walk the veil between the spiritual world and the practical world. And if we do not embrace this veil, do not embrace this walk, this beautiful dance that we have, we can set ourselves too much in logic, or we can go the other way and set ourselves too much in the mystical and the spiritual and not be firmly grounded enough. And so here, there's almost a sense of this tug of war coming forward. And it's like, where do I belong? Where do I stand? What is right for me? What do I need in order to move me forward? So know that energy is coming forward here as well. Now, Saturn is conjunct the fixed star of Persia. I'm going to butcher this name, so I do apologize, but it's Fomalhaut. And this fixed star, and all fixed stars, they move 1 degree every 72 years. So they are with us for quite a long time. Fomalhaut is linked with the Archangel Gabriel, and Gabriel is the messenger of God. So what we're going to see here with the Two of Wands, and I love that she's writing, note cards out. We're going to see messages coming forward. We're going to see information coming our way. There's a sense of doors opening. There's a sense of new information coming to us, a new sense of what do I want, what's important to me. There can be a new seriousness to us as well, where it could be hard for even ourselves to come to an acceptance of this or see the power here, let alone others. So being mindful about this is going to be very important. Now, Fomalhaut in Persian tradition, I was thinking of the right word for it, but yeah, Persian tradition and the way it is seen is also the star of dragons, of serpents. And in Persian tradition, we would think, okay, that's strength and that's power and that's determination, but that's demon energy. So knowing here that as we move forward, we're also going to be seeing what isn't right within our lives. The Five of Cups, changing our mind, changing our lives, finding what we're looking at that's pulling us to lower energy vibration, what we're looking at that is holding us from the place that we want to be, from the power that we need to move forward in, from the sense of, oh, this is me. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is what's important. The Five of Cups is to change your mind, change your life. Look at the Three of Cups. Look at, the 3 broken cups, which is heartbreak and pain and disappointment and hurt and anger. It's betrayal. And then turn around and look at the Two of Cups that stands behind you. Healing, beautiful love to guide you forward. It brings us to this place where we see Mercury trine Jupiter, which brings good fortune forward. We can start to see, okay, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to do it. Temperance comes in. That's balance. Strong Sagittarius energy in this reading is absolutely beautiful. So this moon affects us. It affects us more than we even want to admit. And it brings us here to also Mercury conjunct the dwarf planet Quaoar. And Quaoar is a creator god. And with this creator god's energy, what we see here is order coming out of chaos, balance, temperance, harmony coming forward. And this is also going to be very linked with all things Mercury. So all things to do with communication, interactions. You can find that you'll say things during this time that you would usually just bottle up deep down inside of you, plug it away, and be like, nope, never going to say this, never going to have it be like this. So understanding this is going to be a very important thing. We will also see that we are brought more into the spiritual world, which again, Scorpio is a place that we feel very comfortable in, but we're finding that balance, we're finding that harmony between the spiritual and the practical, between what we think we should be doing and what our soul is called to do. The new moon and the sun, I did already say that, so I do apologize, but that energy coming forward of dogmatism, okay, with the new moon and the sun conjunct Mars in Sagittarius, it's like, okay, I need to find balance out of the dogmatism, out of it has to be just this way. Excuse me. It has to be just like this. And we're finding a balance to ourselves, and we're finding a balance to what we want. Now, the new moon and the sun are tightly conjunct Uranus, which brings awakening. And the new moon and the sun our trine Eris, the dwarf planet Eris, and the north lunar node. And this brings a balancing energy to the sense of, oh, it has to be just like this. And now we're going to see that this energy is empowering. It's very much the individual. It's how do you move forward in truth and fairness for you? How do you balance the waters of what you want? With the Page of Swords, this is a time where we are learning our voice. So we might be a little bit clumsy, all right? There's also, sword energy around us. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, air sign energy could be in our chart, and if it is in our chart, then this part of our personality is coming up as a child, as a part of our personality that likes to learn, but can also take things in and put them on their shoulders. A child tends to think, oh, I did good or I did bad if this happened or this didn't happen. So be mindful about this as well. And be mindful with the swords energies in your life that you might be learning a lot from them, whether you want to or not. And they will be learning a lot as well. There's a sense here also of being a student of your voice, of being a student of your power forward, being a student of your insight and your ideas, opening up the door and saying, okay, where do I stand and what do I need? What am I cutting through? And how do I find the balance and the purpose and the power within me? Everything moves quick during this time. We need to stay slow and grounded. It will be very easy to be swept away in everything, in emotions, in chaos, in hurts, and pains. And that's fine if we need to be, if we need to start advocating for ourselves and say, I need this and I need that. And what about this? And how do I move forward like this? That's important. And we're going to see that we are moving forward towards an empowerment. But we can also be very much swept away, that it just feels like everything is moving too fast. And we will never be able to get our footing and catch up, which can make us feel hopeless. Okay? And that is not a place to go to. I mean, hopelessness hits us all in our lives. And I hope that during the season, during this moon, that isn't where you are. But if it is, know that it's okay. Know that it's okay to be upset and to, sit there and look at all your beautiful gifts and all your power and everything that's you and think it's worthless. Everybody goes through it. All right? So show yourself some compassion. So show yourself some grace. Reach out to people if you need to. All right? Like a therapist, a doctor, if you need to, reach out. There's nothing ever wrong with asking for help. But connecting and seeing our power during this time is going to be beautiful because we're stepping out. So many of us Scorpios, we're stepping out of darkness. We're stepping out of hurt. We're stepping out of pain. And we're stepping into us. And we just had to see it. We just had to go through the storm to honor the sunshine. We did. And it sounds so so corny and so much like a poster you would hang on your wall when you're little, but it is very true. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. All right. So we have here gratitude. Don't let pride get in your way. There's a beauty to us. As we're moving forward, there's thankfulness. There's a sense of being able to see the beauty in the world, the beauty within ourselves, even though we can lose sight of it easily during this time because everything moves so quickly that it almost feels like it's like quicksilver, like you can never kind of pin it down. Don't let pride get in your way. Our ego will be very happy to take over during this time. And sometimes it needs to, right? Sometimes we need to say, but this is what I need for me. That's not necessarily the ego speaking. That is also practicality coming forward. This is what I need in order to be successful, in order to be powerful, in order to open up the door. So gratitude within ourselves to say thank you to the generations who came before us. Thank you to the power of our voice and opening up the doors to where we need to be. Okay? But don't let the ego take over because there's going to be a sense of like, it should always be bigger. It should always be bigger. And it's like, no, it needs to be manageable and it needs to be harmonious for you. It will move us then to have faith in your dreams and self-love. Look at what you're nurturing. Look at what you're bringing forward. Have faith in your dreams and build it with self-love. Build it with connection. Build it with passion and beauty. All right? But remember what it is that you're building and why it is that you're building it. Remember why you're here. And so often we can lose sight of it. We can lose sight and have everybody else's voice that seems more powerful, more intentional, more demanding, drowned out our own. And it's not fair. It just isn't. So here, have faith in your dreams. Have faith in what you're seeing within yourself and what you want. And know that sometimes the road is long and sometimes you have to juggle a lot to be able to manifest what you desire. But what we desire does not always have to be monetized. It can just be something that we love doing and that brings us tremendous joy. And loving ourselves and letting us shine, that's huge. It brings us then to look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture as the doors open. Look at the bigger picture because we have here the full moon in Sagittarius coming forward, which we're in the new moon, right? But it's strong Sagittarius energy amplified with Sagittarius coming here within the tarot. We are protected. There is protection that comes forward. Look at the bigger picture. Look at what you're aiming for. Don't get caught up in the pettiness. It will be very easy to get caught up in the pettiness. But look at the bigger picture, what you're aiming towards, what you desire, and what you want. It brings us to a place where we are having a hard time believing in the impossible. It's interesting because as little children, we believe in the impossible all the time. It's just part of our nature and ourselves. But here, it's like believe in the impossible. Believe that there's so much more than we could possibly have imagined. It's like a little kid whose parents are too practical or who has experienced a lot of trauma and they're like, no, you can't believe in the impossible. It has to be practical. It has to be something I can see, hear, touch, taste. Like, it has to be tangible. And we're stepping into this darkness, but we are overwhelmed by it. And it's saying, what impossible things can come forward for us? What are we looking towards? What are we embracing? What are we opening up the door to during this time? And what do we need? It's interesting with the darkness. I like to meditate sometimes or just visualize, as I'm washing my hands or whatever. I like to visualize being a part of the darkness, being a part of the great expanse of the universe. And there was a time where, not that long ago at all, where it was making me feel so panicked, so anxious, so overwhelmed. How do we step into the darkness, step into the infinite of our ability and ourselves? How do we become a student of our voice, honoring our voice, what we desire, what we want, what we need, and believing in the impossible me, right? Believe in the impossible you, Scorpio. Look at what you desire. Look at what you're looking towards. And you might feel it's insurmountable. And some of it might not come true the way that we have envisioned. But the envisioning is giving us a foundation for which to build off of. And it brings us to this place where we've kind of lost our focus. Everything moves so fast. And we have been caught up in such chaotic energy that feeling like prosperity lies ahead feels like a lie we're telling ourselves in order to get up and make it through the next day. Focus. Open up your eyes. And focusing can be hard. So here, it's a sense of, how do I need to open up my third eye? How do I need to focus? How do I need to let myself, connect with me and what I need and what I want? Slow it down. Bring it into bite-sized pieces if you can. And if you can't, because there's just too much, it's like, okay, slow it down. What is going on? So if you can't, make it into bite-sized pieces, because again, too many people are demanding too many different things. How do you slow you down so that you're that calm within a storm? Prosperity does lie ahead. There is power and there is beauty here. It's not going to be in the way that you had originally envisioned. It is going to be more than what you had hoped for and less than what you had imagined, which seems like a failure, but it's not. It brings us then to a win-win outcome is forecast. It's interesting that we have the scales coming forward, that Libra energy, balance. Now, Libra is justice, right, in the major arcana. And Sagittarius energy is the only other one linked to the law. It's truth coming forward. So a new romantic cycle, a win-win outcome is forecast. Are we discerning of the energy that we're letting in? Are we discerning of the power that's leading us towards so much more than what we imagined. We're letting too much in. It's knocking us off balance. We cannot win, and we cannot move forward feeling like we have achieved if we are in a constant state of chaos. Be mindful about this and be aware. Take time to breathe out. When we're changing the way we're looking at things, when we're changing our mind and changing our world, take time to breathe out. Acceptance comes forward here. Accepting what we cannot change, accepting who we are, accepting what we love, and accepting the duality within our being. And when taking time to breathe out is reversed, we have a tendency to hold our breath. We have a tendency to wait for the next thing to fall apart, for us to be ignored again, for the chaos to come in and take over, for hope to be lost, and us to feel adrift. Changing our minds, changing our lives, is looking at the wreckage of things and finding harmony within ourselves. Of seeing some things that are shattered and understanding, okay, that's just not going to be. And then moving forward to where we need to be for us. There's a love here. There needs to be an acceptance of us. Acceptance reversed is a sense of like, I just want to change it, right? I just want to change who I inevitably am or irrevocably am. And that's cool. We all want to do that, or at least I know I have, most definitely. You know, why can't you be more practical, more grounded in the real? If that makes sense? You know, you're sitting here listening to a tarot card reader. And sometimes I wish you'd be sitting here listening to a neurosurgeon, but that's not my gift, nor would I ever want it to be. And so here, there's a sense of, do I accept me? And do I see me for who I truly am? Or am I always going to be looking and comparing myself to others and saying they've done it better? Take time to breathe out. Take time to slow it down and center you, because you matter. And right now, as we're changing our mind, changing our lives, changing the way that we see things, we can forget that we matter. It brings us to our subconscious spirit message. And this is blessed. You are blessed. Even though you feel hopeless, even though you feel overwhelmed, your angels are with you. The Archangel Gabriel is connecting with you. There's a sense of power and purpose and beauty. You are blessed. Remember that. It doesn't feel like it. You are blessed also with knowing what you don't want, how you don't want things to move forward, where you don't want to be in your life. That's also a blessing. It brings us then to our subconscious chakra message. And it's life purpose. It's the third chakra. We are students of our voice and what we love and what we want and how we need to move forward for us. The third chakra is a powerful chakra energy. All things Mercury, right? Communication comes forward in the third chakra. Humming activates the third chakra. Singing, chanting. Our thyroid is also in the third chakra, which is very important. Saying, this is what is important to me. This is the beauty that moves me forward. I'm speaking my purpose. Even if it doesn't make sense at times. Even if it's chaotic. I'm speaking my purpose. I'm gathering up my strength. I'm opening up the door. It brings us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the Page of Pentacles, where money becomes the only focus. And it's not a bad thing, right? To say, okay, I need to have my finances in order. I need to be serious about this because it is a serious thing. What we need to look at here is, I'm just hearing temper tantrums around money, temper tantrums around the absurd. And I don't mean the absurd to be insulting, but I mean things as if like you're having somebody come in and demanding things of you, where you're like, is that really important right now? Because we have to be doing this, or this has to be done, and this is practical. So just know that this inner child can kind of be a part of us inside, and is definitely in a part of us. It's like, I demand this. It's like, I demand eating ice cream every single night. And it's like, okay, but your tummy will hurt you, you know, that type of thing. So look at what your inner self is demanding right now that can kind of be seen as a temper tantrum, or look externally of what others are demanding of you, even if they don't know it, even if they're not aware that they themselves are having these temper tantrums of energy. You can be very sensitive. If you're an empath, you know, if you're psychic, if you're any of these things, you can be very sensitive to the energy around you, or just a sensitive person. And their energy is having a temper tantrum. And you're like, what the heck? What the heck? Don't you know what needs to be done? Our subconscious tarot message is the Queen of Swords reversed. Air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Queen of Swords reversed is negative self-talk, negative energy coming in that we're sitting there and saying, they're saying it because it has to be true. They wouldn't say something mean. They wouldn't say something hurting. They wouldn't say something biting if it wasn't true. So looking at the Queen of Swords, and this is a person who will compliment you and insult you in the exact same breath, and finding balance and sitting there and also finding boundaries during this time, and also being aware of ourselves. When our mind starts to be hurtful and hateful to us, saying, no, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. And we are allowed to voice what we need. We might not do so always elegantly and eloquently, and we might have chaotic energy around it when we do it. But embracing our voice and saying, this is what I need, this is what's important to me, that's important for us. It moves us then to our Luna message, which is assessing. And you are very close to achieving your goals. Look at the big picture. Take it in. That's what Sagittarius energy does. It takes things in. It amplifies. Assess the situation. You are very close to achieving your goals. You are very close to moving forward in your power and in your purpose. Don't give up on yourself, because right now you're walking through a dark night of the soul. Don't give up on yourself because things have gotten hard. They get hard. This isn't saying to live in a constant state of struggle. We might need to reevaluate things if that's the case. But it's remembering we have dreams and we have this vision for a reason, and we need to move forward in that energy. It's just so important for us. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Scorpio, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. May you have a blessed moon, and God bless. Oh, and happy holidays. Bye.